Welcome to Niels Hahn's Cat House. I'm Neil Hahn. I run the cat house. Oh, no. Sorry, this is Niels Hahn Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be kind, helpful, and grateful because it's better than being a jerk. And buy some silver and some platinum. I didn't stop this video in the right spot, so you're going to get a little bit of BS, more so than what I wanted you to hear. But this is part of the problem that Westerners, with the Western thought process, 5-minute memory lapse, can't concentrate, that type person who spreads bullshit and doesn't know facts. This is one of many problems. And when you hear this, you got to think, okay, well, each sector of China built their military machine just for that sector. And they're trying to project a worldwide image of strength. But listen to this report.
On the coastline also means there is no need for supply ships and more warships to escort the carrier. Under the CCP
Here it is right
regime,
here.
troops aren't allowed to move between different theaters. They are prohibited to be deployed in other places freely unless orders are issued by the CCP Military Commission or by Xi Jinping. Otherwise, it runs the risk of being suspected of mutiny. Thus, a Chinese...
So say Xi Jinping is in the bathroom disposed of second, and some of their fighter jets have to go from one district to another. If they do without his approval, they get shot down for mutiny. Wow. That's how to defend the homeland.
Chinese aircraft carrier returning to the shipyard would have to take a torturous detour via eastern Taiwan. This is different from the US military, where any unit or equipment that enters the corresponding theater of operations is under the command of the respective theater. That is to say, the Shandong carrier has only been on one voyage that lasted about half a month for training, and the rest of the time it occasionally frequented offshore but still had to return to the shipyard for maintenance and repairs. The little time it had that could be used for operational readiness is far too short. The Liaoning carrier is under repair at the shipyard, the Shandong carrier is back for repairs, and the Fujian carrier hasn't yet been tested at sea. The Chinese Navy should have no aircraft carriers available right now. It'll be impossible to fight on one front, not to mention the four fronts.
All of their carriers, when they go out within 6 weeks, have to go back in for maintenance and repairs. I did a report on Pakistan. China sends them, military weapons, and they just throw them away because 1/3 of them's defective. It's the same with their Navy. 1/3 of what they build is defective. Have you ever bought some from China? If you buy 10 things from China, 3 out of 10 easily defective. That's how they run their nation. Only America has quality control. That's why the best ally in the One Belt Road Initiative, Pakistan, throws away the weapons that China gives them and buys from China's adversary, America, because our weapons are more efficient. They're built better. They're not defective. They're not defective. China has 4 carriers, all in for maintenance. 2 of them are less than 1 year old. When we launch carriers, they don't come in for maintenance for a couple of years. And that's just maintenance. It's not and repairs. We'll go on with this story to let you know how big a joke they are. They're the CCP military, not the people of China. Not insulting the people of China. They have been taken over kind of like we have by a fictitious government that seems to run things somehow.
For example, the Chinese national television station reported that in early April, the Shandong carrier participated in a war patrol and drill around Taiwan Island. And on April 21st, the Liaoning carrier also started a multidiscipline training of air defense and anti-submarine in the western Pacific Ocean. Therefore, the Chinese public opinion has been hyping up the so-called first time that 2 aircraft carriers drilled together in the West Pacific, claiming great significance. However, on the same day, April 21st, an interview video released by China's foreign propaganda network CGTN said that the Liaoning carrier was undergoing a major equipment upgrade, which means the Liaoning carrier was at the shipyard at the time. The most ridiculous matter is that at the same time, a Hong Kong media published an article that said that it would take 48 hours for Chinese carriers to kick in. The headline of the article reads, "It took 48 hours to boil water, but the war is over and it hasn't arrived at the battlefield yet." The article says that the Chinese steam turbines use heavy oil to heat 60 tons of water into steam, so it takes 48 hours to start up the 4 TB12 boilers before they reach full power. It's pointed out in the article that the USS Nimitz aircraft carrier has two A4W nuclear reactors on board, and the startup time is about 2 hours to bring the Nimitz to full power.
That would be 24 times quicker. 48 hours before you can even take them out into a battlefield. And China's great. CCP is great at losing. If they go against America, they're losing the economic war. Just you're not being, other than me and a few other people on YouTube, they're not reporting to you how in desperate, dire shape their economy is in. Everyone's still pumping it like they're the next big thing. I'm telling you, India, Russia, and America, those are the three. Other countries aren't going to be worth talking about. They're smaller investments, yeah, whatever. But as far as world powers, India, America, China, Russia. That's it. That's how that's going to be. That's who has it. China is falling apart. They can't even launch one of their aircraft carriers without 48-hour notice. And the worst thing about that, that's not even the worst thing. The thing is, see, they have to have a tugboat filled with fuel following them so they can go more than 600 miles. Which one do you think is a better target? Hit the fuel station first that they're towing behind them? So that way they just dead in the water out there and you can just peg them apart. I mean, come on. It's like, seriously.
The author of the article goes by the alias of Military Fan Rally. While some believe that he is a military fan, others believe he may be a military officer who is familiar with the operation of the Chinese Navy and knows the specific equipment parameters of the Chinese fleet well. However, we can't confirm the credibility of this information yet. The Chinese and US military aircraft suddenly confronted each other again this time. A statement from the CCP Southern Theater of Operations said, "The troops in the theater are on high alert at all times, resolutely defending national sovereignty and security and peace and stability in the South China Sea region." On May 31st, China's official media, Global Times, also stated that the US reconnaissance plane is only about 50 kilometers from our coastline and that it's completely necessary to drive away the US military plane. However, when the US reconnaissance aircraft arrived over the Shandong carrier, the Southern Theater didn't disclose the location of the confrontation and only stated that it organized air forces to follow and monitor the whole process. It dared not to claim that it quickly intercepted or drove away the American aircraft. On June 1st, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said in Tokyo that it was unfortunate that the Chinese defense minister refused to meet with him on the sidelines of the annual Shangri-La Dialogue Asian Security Summit. He added, "As we take a look at some of the things that China is doing, and in the international airspace in the region and international waters, the provocative intercepts of our aircraft and also our allies' aircraft, that's very concerning. And we would hope that they would alter their actions, but since they haven't yet, I'm concerned about, at some point, having an incident that could very, very quickly spiral out of control."